Hello, it's time for my weekly update. I want to begin by just commenting on the governor's announcements regarding the gradual reopening of the economy and lifting of some of the stay-at-home orders. Of course, he hasn't done anything other than announce last week that schools are closed for the rest of the year, but lots of people are asking questions. What does this all mean as we are planning for how and when schools are going to reopen next year? A couple thoughts on that. One is we have been very clear in our conversations with ODE that we need clear parameters and expectations from the state that protect the health and safety of educators, of students, and of people in the communities. We need local flexibility in terms of how to implement school plans that will meet those guidelines. It's very important, as I've said before, that there be collaborative decision making at the local level that includes administrators and local union leaders working together in the best interest of students and in the best interest of our members. We need to be focused on the equity issues that we know are such a priority right now. And we really need a lot of time to assess where we are and plan for how best to move forward. I would caution all of you to caution your own superintendents and school boards to not get too far out in front of the state, not make too many concrete plans because things are changing every day, and it's really impossible to predict exactly when schools are going to be able to reopen. But being involved in that discussion and that planning is really, really important. Before I move on, I want to talk about some local success stories, and if you have some stories to share, please send them along. I want to congratulate the Ravenna Education Association. They were facing the prospect of 9 positions lost through RIF. Because of their advocacy, they were able to reduce that down to 1.2. In Chagrin Falls, like many other locals that I've heard about, they negotiated an MOU regarding how to best move forward on OTES this year that meets the needs of the district and of our members. And as a result of that negotiation, they had 95-0 vote of membership on their MOU. And I also want to give a shout out to the Lake Educators Association for the Developmental Disabilities, our DD board employees in Lake County. They negotiated a new 3-year contract, and they also were successful in averting some layoffs that were attempted by their school leadership, and everybody is still getting paid there. So that kind of advocacy that's happening in locals all across the state are a good reminder of the importance of our continued work. I know that members are concerned about job security, they're concerned about being able to continue to do good work with their students, and that's why more than ever before they need the support of their union. You may be aware that there are some forces out there that are trying to exploit the situation to encourage members to drop their union membership. And it's times like these that members are depending on us and needing us more than ever before, and so we need to remind them of the value of the work that we do. I want to thank all of you for all that you're doing. A couple things coming up. First, I want to, in response to what we've been hearing, we know there was a lot of good discussion happening at UNICEF councils around the state. We're going to be implementing a weekly Zoom meeting for local leaders, for LRCs and members of our board and district leaders to be able to ask questions and share stories with myself and Jeff and Mark, so with the officers. Be looking for more information on that. We expect our first Zoom Q&A meeting for local leaders to be scheduled within the next week. We know that the virtual representative assembly is coming up on May 9th. Deadline for registration is May 4th. This is a really important meeting. If you're a delegate or if you have delegates, please encourage them to register and register today. We're going to be acting on OEA's budget, and during this time of economic uncertainty, it's really important work this year. And then I just finally want to let you all know that the NEA Foundation has just issued a series of COVID response grants Rapid response grants, learning and leading grants, and student success grants. We would encourage you to take advantage of those resources to provide support to your students and your fellow members. Thanks for all you do. That's all for this week.